What's up, guys? I'm gonna be making a video on Zombie Rush. I know I got pretty far so far, but like, you know how I said I'm gonna try to get to 775. I'm on the, or yeah, I think it's 75. Yo, I'm on the 748. I just been grinding off YouTube and so like when I'm not filming, basically. They're not gonna start doing it. I'm gonna get to 50 and then it's just take way longer. So I'm gonna get to 50 and I'll watch some YouTube. Eat my food, and then yeah. This took me so long. It's literally night outside. It's literally I don't know when I started, but does a lot. Well, though I got, or if you don't know, I got honestly a new gun, and I got a new like melee weapon. I guess wait, is this melee? I guess you can consider this like a melee weapon. Oh my, that gave me so much. It's literally lags when I do that too. When you have a friend who has that, bro, and you throw the fire in there, bro, like five, like if the whole team has the fire things, bro, you're gonna be crazy. But the impulse of oh my, it's lagging. Yo, wait, is it showing that? Yeah, it's showing that. Wait, it's not about to kick me, right? I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back. Usually, it's not lag when you go back and it don't kick you from again. Wait, if it, wait, I might need to actually get back just in case. I don't know where they're chasing from. What if I do this? Oh, wow, what the freak just happened there? Oh my, oh my. It's all, bro. Bro, we trying to break the game here, bro. That is so powerful, bro. You have the bazooka thing, like when you shoot it and it like blows up a big giant space, and you have fire plus the things that they go after. That sounds so overpowered right there. I actually try to get on a tree. No, this wait. Wait, I got a new sword. I got a new weapon too. I got a new sword and a weapon. Let's go. But I'm look at it. No, this is. I want to say what this actually occurred. Bruh. I'm back up, I'm back up, I'm back up. Hey, keep hitting. I'm actually not even on. If it lags, I'm not even. Not if you. What I'm talking about. Wait, this does a lot of damage though. I'm dead. What? Hate. Ah. Damn! I can't throw nothing. Bro, I tried to throw fire in it, bro. It's. I know. I'm trying to get a little bit higher. This is actually crazy. Finally get a new sword, bro. It's so, bro. It takes so long for you to get new swords on here because, like, I mean, only if you like somehow figure out a way. The more stronger you get, the more easier it is to get levels. If you somehow hack into the thing, I'm feeling like hacking. I don't know. Make it more like funner. I feel like you can add more zombies, but you can also kill them all and somehow make everyone else get everyone get the XP while everyone. And you can also get waves that way too. And then when you get to a certain amount of waves, like 300, which by then I might as well hacking to get to that level waves, but if I just kill all of them, like do an instant kill for everyone to earn XP, that's definitely a lag though. And I heard it's the game of break when it get to a certain amount. I think like 2 days of playing, and they never die. That can break the game. We still got 51. Okay, that's even better. Okay, now I'm just I'm gonna go watch YouTube. Wait, how long did I did, by the way? 8 minutes. You know, might as well make this a reacting video too. I don't like put it like playing zombie rush on Roblox slash something like slash reacting to video. Okay, I got a decent amount, bro. That is good. I've been playing for so long. This one. Oh, that's one of them.
I put my dress for the gala.
See, this is what I'm gonna be eating right here. Wait, can you see that? Wait, I don't know if I can see that.
Hi there. Would you like to receive a gift?
Wait.
I'm a missionary for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Nah.
Hi guys, and welcome back to the Peculiar Place podcast. I'm Jesse, and I'm here with Ty.
How's it going?
Usually Mandy says that part, so I'm never used to it.
Yeah, sorry, I don't have like a tagline or a slogan that I can say right at the beginning.
It's all good. Sorry guys that we missed last week. I was on a Mother's Day trip with my sister and my mom. It was a delayed Mother's Day trip just because things were crazy this month. So
You're honestly older though.
later,
Just so
and
you don't
then
know.
Ty and I went to Sudbury in the same week, so it was just a really, really busy week. And the reason why Mandy's not here is because they just moved this past week, so we've been helping them out there, and they moved quite far, so it's not like a simple sort of turnaround. It's going to take quite a while.
It was a solid about, I think, 10 hours we did just a few days ago, and that was just to move one truck.
One truck, yeah.
One
So
truckload took that long.
it's been crazy, and then imagine that with a newborn on top of it. Like, it's...
I mean, it looked like you were having fun.
Well, I was holding the baby while they were working, and I'm fine with that.
And Luca and I, and both your dad and Luca's dad, are struggling to lift like these massive, old-fashioned wooden furniture
Yeah, and
pieces
I'm
all
holding a
throughout
baby.
the house. I feel like you had the best end of the bargain.
I did. I don't complain. But Mandy should be here next week. And speaking about like filming podcasts, we do have a bit of an update, and it's kind of a downer. And I feel, well, my voice just cracked. Did you hear that?
Yeah,
Am I that nervous to talk about this update?
Yeah, I think you are a little bit. It's not the best news in the world. Nothing grave by any means, but I'll let Jesse take it away here.
Yeah. So you guys know we started this podcast back in September, and this is episode 31. I think something like that.
I go by basically the sheet of paper that is usually sitting in front of us. When I was cleaning out the studio today, you usually leave the script behind. And last one said 30, so I think it's 31.
It's 31.
I
but
hope so.
we've been doing this for almost a year. So by the first week of this coming September, it'll be a year that we've been doing the podcast. And I have to admit, like, I had really high hopes for this podcast, and don't get me wrong, like, this has been so much fun. This has been something that Mandy and I especially have been wanting to do for a very long time, and I feel so grateful and fortunate that we've been able to get a set in place and get all the equipment that we needed and have been able to do it for so long. So I'm really grateful for that, and for you guys for listening and tuning in every week, and for commenting and for engaging, and to our patrons, of course. But unfortunately, it's not doing as well as we hoped in the span of time that we've been filming, right? It's been almost a year, and our videos, I think, they sit around 2,000 views, which, listen, like I said, grateful for those 2,000 people. But we were hoping for more growth. I mean, Mandy and I, and you watch podcasts all the time, and you can see how quickly their channels grow and how many viewers they get, and it seems to be rapid fire, and for some reason, for us, it hasn't been that way. So that's a little bit disappointing because we were hoping for quicker growth. And so because of that, we really had to sit down and think, like, how sustainable is this, right? It's been a year. Do we want to finish off the year and maybe reevaluate in September? And the answer to that is yes, we are going to go to September. But we've had to make some changes. So to manage this podcast, Ty has been editing, and he's a great editor. We're so grateful for him.
Well, I mean, I try my best. I'd say we're okay at it.
No,
There's been
you're
a lot
really
of
good.
hiccups.
You're really good. And it takes a lot more work than you think to get a podcast edited from all the different mics and audio sources and different cameras and adding in pictures and exporting different things. It takes forever. It takes time. I would say 2 to 3 days to get a podcast done, and then another day on top of it to do all of our shorts and stuff. So it's almost a full-time job for Ty. And this is where the awkward part comes in. It's always strange to talk about, like, monetary things and stuff, but you guys know that content creating is my full-time job, right? Like, out of college I was going to go into graphic design, and this has become my full-time job. So we do have to be cognizant of where our time is being put. And so just to be totally transparent, we make $100 to $200 a podcast. It's awkward to talk about, but we're not making any big income from this.
Oh, that is,
Ty's
yo.
not being paid for his time. Mandy and I both, we now have, well, we've always had an hour commute to the studio. Mandy now is going to have over an hour commute to the studio. So there and back, it's a lot of driving. And so I guess what I want to say is that like the money we have coming in from the podcast really only pays for the rental space, if that.
Yeah.
So it's really not sustainable. I would love for it to be. I would love for it to be a hobby, but it takes too much time in the week. So I would like to set some goals here, okay? We would love to continue the podcast after September, but I think we would have to gain large reviews, but I think we would have to hit 300 patrons. And I think that's a realistic goal.
It can be,
You know?
absolutely.
Right now we have 30, and I love you guys, and I'm so grateful for you, so thank you. But I think if we're going to continue, we have to hit 300. And by the way, on Patreon, it says we have more, but those aren't paid patrons. Those are like, I guess, people who are following the page,
Yeah, absolutely.
if that makes sense.
It throws a bunch of numbers at you, and it's a fun little juggle to filter out and make sure you see exactly what's going on the back end of things.
Yeah.
But from what we can tell, it's 30.
So if we can hit 300 by September 1st, we will continue the podcast for another year. The other change that we have to do for this moment in time is we have to cut the podcast time in half. So instead of doing an hour to an hour and a half, we're going to have to do 30 minutes, just so it takes half the time for Ty to edit. We can film 2 podcasts back to back while we're traveling to the studio.
Mhm.
It just makes things a little bit easier for us. I mean, it's not a great update, but I think the positive thing is that we are going to continue until September, because we were thinking maybe we'll stop now. We're going to continue.
We've had a lot of meetings behind the scenes, and
Yeah.
it's not just us that you see in front of the cameras. There's other people in our business, Jesse's parents. They help us run through the numbers with everything,
Yeah.
and we love doing this, and we appreciate the support that everyone who has been here for us has given us. Even just simply watching, liking, commenting, or even listening in on whatever your preferred service is a huge help to us.
Yeah.
And we appreciate that. We see you guys, and we appreciate you.
That's the other thing.
We
Like,
do. We're not complaining saying it's anybody's fault. It's
no,
not.
no.
The internet is a fun game that we all play. We just have to look at the numbers that we see. How can we get it to a place where it is sustainable? Because at the end of the day, it's a very cold world business, unfortunately,
Yeah.
and we have to be realistic. Yes, it takes a lot of time out of everybody who's a part of this podcast to get it done, and we want to compensate everybody who is here for their time.
No one's getting paid right now.
No. And I do love editing the podcast. I love seeing you and your guests come on, talk about silly things. I learn a lot about you.
I know.
Probably things that I shouldn't.
Oh,
be
my
learning.
secret's coming out on this podcast.
Yes, I am probably up there with some of the super fans
Yeah.
when it comes to this podcast, because I know everything, because I've had to watch it over about 4 times for each podcast when I go through it.
Yep.
As we said, we don't want to say that it's anybody's fault. It's not. We appreciate the support that we had. We're just making steps to try and make it as sustainable as possible, and we hope we can meet those goals. Because we want to be able to provide this content for you guys, because we love making it, and we surely hope that you guys love listening to it, watching it.
I love the podcast. Honestly, it's felt like the most me, over all of my platforms. I just feel like I can be super, super honest and open here. Partly because I have an older audience watching, so I don't feel as, censored. Like, I don't have to hold back as much, so I feel more myself on this podcast, and it's been a really great outlet for me.
So what Jesse is saying is basically when the cameras go off, we're swearing like sailors and just running around.
Totally.
Debauchery.
No, bro.
So much.
No,
Anyways,
bro.
so guys,
That'd be
was
crazy.
just the update. I just wanted to be real with you guys, so you're not wondering
No,
why all of a
bro,
sudden
that'd be
we're cutting
crazy,
the
bro.
podcast time in half.
No, that's how it is, really. That's really how it is. When you make a video, after when you're done making a video, you just start running around butt naked around the house and saying, I'm a...
appreciate the support.
No,
And
no,
speaking
no.
of Patreon,
That's too far,
I
that's too
just
far.
want to give a little hint for this week's clip. We are talking about really creepy missing persons cases in today's podcast, weird things that search and rescue officers have found in the forest. And so because of that, I thought that we would kind of talk about missing persons cases or strange things like that from our lives. And Ty's mom used to be a police officer, so she had a couple really disturbing and sad cases that were cold
We
cases.
had a conversation with her actually on the way here today, because we were just thinking about it, and the first thing she says, oh, but they didn't end well. Yeah, unfortunately a lot of these situations don't end well. We hope that any of them currently ongoing do end well. Yeah, you're in for some very dark stories, and
Yeah.
also some of them from our lives as well.
Right, you guys probably remember how I did kind of a series on my best friend who went missing when I was in high school.
Really?
And there were some things that I kept out on YouTube because, like I said, it's a younger audience, and YouTube is pretty strict about what you can and can't say. And I also kind of had a conclusion to her story that I found out 2 years ago that I just didn't mention on YouTube. It didn't feel appropriate, and it didn't feel like something I should put out there for views. And so I feel like Patreon is a smaller community, and it just feels like a kind of more comfortable spot to talk about this. So
in the authoritarian regime of YouTube, you're not allowed to say very much, but in the lawless wasteland of Patreon,
you could do
where our
anything.
patrons are,
Yeah,
yes,
So-
there's no rules.
exactly. So if you want to see this week's clip there on our personal missing persons cases, we'll link it down below, or check out patreon.com/peculiarplacepodcast. Also, if you're in the peculiar tier, that's the
Yes,
tier, right? That's
you,
the
you have been mixing up the
I
tiers
know.
every single time you talk
So
about it.
the $20 tier, as you know, we've made a bit of a change, and every single month you're actually going to get a small item from our retail store mailed to you, which is so cool. And so this week's item is our pop sockets, and we'll put a picture up because these are really small to show on the camera. But the background is the Aurora Borealis, and then we have the fairy wings that I designed on top of it, and they're so cute. They're purple and green, so you get those along with a little sort of note that I personally write for each
Well, what-
patron if you're in that tier. So yeah.
I don't even get
Wait,
it.
what?
Last night, Mom did it earlier, y'all both helped
So
tonight.
lucky you.
But I could do half.
Lucky you.
Yeah,
That's because it's a lot.
thank you guys once again for
A lot of
supporting
some of it can go into the dishwasher, but
you are,
a lot of it has to be hand
Life
washed.
with
Where did all the
Kids,
dishes come from?
you got
I've been
an MRI.
cooking all day.
Yeah, so during
From
all this
all
Sourdough
those?
bread and all that. I've been trying to keep it up, but can I get a hug?
fun stuff that
Y'all.
we generally
Come
do
on,
during
honey.
our
Oh,
life
wait.
updates.
Right.
For the most part,
I got my
Jesse
hands full and
has
I'm trying to
obviously been going
get
through
one
a lot
arm
of
free so I can give you a hug.
and
Come on.
I myself have been going through a
I love
few
you.
strange ones as well. I've been
Good
trying
night.
to lose a little bit of weight,
Thank you.
and during that
You're
time,
welcome.
I've been feeling
I
really dizzy,
appreciate
and I was
y'all.
thinking, maybe just the food. It's persisted for a month. I've been extremely dizzy. Got to the point where I couldn't exercise anymore, and I was thinking, this really isn't good, especially anything going on with my head, because anybody who's seen our vlogs before knows that about 3 years ago, Jesse was noticing there was something strange happening with my eyes specifically. One pupil was dilating huge and the other one was really small,
Mhm.
and I was dealing with headaches, and I've had migraines my entire life, so I was thinking, it's probably that. Fun fact about me, and people on the vlog channel probably already know this, my brother and I were each born with an extra set of sinuses. Mine are right behind my eyes and actually push one of them that way.
Mhm.
I joke that that's by drinking tell, because as soon as those muscles start relaxing, my one eye starts going the other way.
Yeah.
That's why I wear glasses usually. We investigated stuff, and we had a CT scan, and there's nothing scarier than when your doctor says, do you want me to tell you this, or do you want a nurse to tell you this?
And she also said, "Are you driving? Do you want to pull over?"
Yeah.
And so we're like, "Oh my gosh,
This
what
was
is this
during
gonna
our
be?"
anniversary trip when we heard about this, and they said they found something on my brain. So that, of course, scares the crap out of me. We're gonna jump right in before anybody makes any conclusions. It's not the big C word.
It's benign.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's benign, whatever it is. And so we had an MRI. They investigated it, and apparently I have a cyst on my brain that is kind of on top of the area of your brain that kind of controls your sleep-wake cycle.
Right.
So I don't sleep well. That probably explains a little bit of it. We found that out 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So as soon as this stuff started happening, the dizziness and all that stuff, I'm thinking, oh no, please tell me that this benign thing didn't become something malignant
Or grow or
or
something.
grow
Yeah.
or whatever. So called my doctor, and I usually like the approach of let's scratch off the scary things first.
Yeah.
And then figure out the lesser things later, because once the scary thing's off your plate, you feel a little bit better.
Mm-hmm.
I go in, get an MRI, and the past week of waiting for these results have been nerve-wracking, because I don't know if this thing has grown or what. Thankfully, we got the results. It hasn't grown, but they said
New Game Plus, is that sniffing good?
Chewy Pharmacy zooms cat mats right to your door. Fast. Which is
What? What? How to take it off? They need to take it off. They really need to take it off.
did find something else though. So, of course, I have polyps in my sinuses, and they said that could actually be explaining the dizziness that I've been dealing with, because your sinuses connect to what I believe is called eustachian tubes or something.
Your ear tube.
My ear tubes. There's tubes in your ears that usually, if they get blocked with something, they can cause dizziness. Because, fun fact of the day, your inner ear actually kind of controls your balance. If things are all wonky up in there, you'll be wiggling everywhere.
Yep.
But they said, yeah, you got polyps in your sinuses. They could be pressing against your ear tubes. Here, have this nose spray and you'll feel better. But that's what we've been dealing with, going between hospitals and doctor's appointments, in between all the fun stuff with work and ear trips. So.
Yeah, but I'm glad you're okay, and I'm glad it's not, the brain thing getting bigger, and it's something that's treatable.
It could be a worm, just a big worm.
I would hope not.
Just start poking out every now and
That
then.
reminds me of Corpse Bride. Doesn't she have like a little green worm that sticks out of her eye?
I don't know. See, my brain went immediately to Futurama,
Okay,
where
I've
a
never
guy
seen
had
that.
like a bunch of brain parasites, but they actually started making him smarter.
What?
So, yeah, that's pretty much my update. What about you?
I don't really have any updates aside from saying, don't get your wisdom teeth out. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. But also don't. Okay, so we're gonna get into some trending topics. Oh, do you know what's funny? I put in my notes 2 weeks ago. You and I went to a restaurant. We went to the Keg, and we noticed something strange.
Yeah, it's not strange, Jess. This is the new norm.
No, it's
It's
strange.
the new norm.
Okay, we're
We're-
millennials. Okay.
We're old now, Jess. You know how your parents just said, I don't understand what these youngins are doing these day and ages?
Yes.
Like, I remember my parents would tell me to go outside when I got older, because I'd just be sitting there on the Xbox, just mindly twiddling away and all that stuff. It's like when I was your age, I was walking up and down the streets to go to my friends, uphill both ways, because those stories, it always is, and they're always somehow trudging through 6 feet of snow. We're at that point now.
Yeah.
Because we did some people watching at the restaurant.
So everyone has phones nowadays, right? Especially those Gen Zs. It's kind of sad because
It's like that one right now that Jesse never lets go.
right, but I'm a millennial and I read most of the time. Okay, people were upset that my pinky was weird. Okay, listen, when I posted that short of me having iPhone pinky, all of these angry men were like, wow, she must be boring because she must never put her phone down. And it's like, I read too, and guess where my book sits? Right here.
And guess where your phone sits? Right next to the book.
Right, but I read more than I'm on my phone. Anyways, so we go out to dinner. We go to the Keg, okay? It's just a little date night. Ty and I, even though we work together and live together,
Hey,
we
bro.
always have something to talk about somehow. Even
Well,
though we
I
see each other
jokingly
24/7.
Housework.
Right, even though, we work together.
I ask you if your coworker is still bothering you.
Right.
Does he keep saying inappropriate things to you during
He
work
does.
hours?
He does sometimes.
He does.
So anyway, the waiter sits another couple down beside us, the table directly beside us, and they're clearly younger. I would say they're probably 20. Like, they're a good decade younger than us.
Jess, I'm pretty sure they were still in their teens.
Didn't they order wine?
No, they just got water.
Okay, they were like 18, 19, 20, okay? In that range.
This is what my assumption was in the situation. This was their first date, and this was like a high school date. I don't know which one was probably the one to initiate it. Based on, my personal biases, I think the guy was trying to pull out the stops.
Yeah.
And Jesse will explain what was happening after the fact.
Who goes to a steakhouse in high school?
A guy trying to impress somebody.
Clearly, because I couldn't afford anything in high school, but
Neither could I.
listen, okay.
But hey,
I mean, if you want to have a
you
date
take
there.
those extra shifts at your summer job to afford that one Keg date.
Right. So anyway, they're sitting there, and this is not an exaggeration, and you guys don't even understand how much I wanted to record them the whole time, which sounds creepy, which is why I didn't. Okay, but I wanted
Yeah,
people.
recording children in public is very creepy.
I mean, but
I don't think they were.
I don't know. These days, isn't it? Anyway, we're sitting there. They were on their phone like this, right up to their face, the entire dinner,
Well, they're sitting there. The guy was just like,
and the girl was like this.
for anybody who's listening right now, you probably have no idea what
Okay,
they're doing.
so Ty's on his phone, down at his lap, and I'm on my phone right in front of my face. They did not speak, aside to order whatever food they were ordering. They did not speak to each other. They were on their phone the whole time.
Bro.
An
They're
hour and a
texting
half.
each other.
What? That's crazy to me. Ty and I were looking at each other and looking over at them and talking internally and saying like, what the heck is this about?
Well, I was tempted just to walk over to one of them and say, "What's your favorite hobby?" And if they actually answered, I'd say, "Great, tell them that."
I guess it's just such a sad sight to see that this is where we are now, where even if you're going on a date, and we don't know if it was their first date, they could have been a couple, but even so, the entire hour and a half,
That
you
is,
say
well-
a word to each other and you're on the phone.
Nerves could play a factor in this. If people are anxious, I understand that, but believe me, as somebody who does suffer with nerves, anxiety, all that stuff, it doesn't get better when you hide behind a screen.
That would make me more anxious, the fact that there was like this awkward silence.
We can also think of it in this way too. Maybe both of them going out with each other, if this was a first date, realizing that neither of them would talk to one another. Yeah, it sucks, you take this time out of your day for both of them. But maybe they looked at each other after this situation and said, man, we're really dodging a bullet with each other at this point. Because if you're not going to engage at all, either of you, they're both probably thinking, yeah, forget about this. Let's move on.
I think the only thing that would make sense is if they were brother and sister.
But why would you go to the keg
I don't
as
know.
a brother and sister?
I don't know.
Just the two of you.
Anyways, we sound really judgmental, but if you guys were there, you would understand that no exaggeration, not a peep came from them the entire dinner, and they were just texting on their phone the whole time. It was crazy.
As I said, Jess, we're the next generation of the people not understanding what the kids are doing these
But,
days.
you can put down your phone for literally an hour dinner. It's not that hard. Eat your food. Ask each other what's been going on in your life. Talk.
What is before
Like,
the
just talk. It's so sad that a screen is like what our eyesight sees the
Well, I
entire
mean, we
day.
do pull out our phones, but that's generally to look on our Furbo cam and take screenshots of our dogs.
Right.
Because our little guy Tumnus is usually rolling around in his crate all day, and he usually makes pretty funny faces at the camera.
Right. Okay, so we're gonna move on to this phenomenon that I found out about through TikTok because that seems to be the place that most conspiracies and interesting things come from
Whenever
these
you
days.
say phenomenon, I always take it with a grain of salt, just because you've explained regular people's jobs as a phenomenon.
I think the word phenomenon has now taken different forms, and it doesn't just mean a natural.
I think phenomenon is like the Northern Lights,
That is.
not
But
a storm chaser.
it has now taken on a new meaning, and this phenomenon has to do with SpongeBob. Okay, we all watch
Okay,
SpongeBob.
so
we all
is
love
it
SpongeBob.
like a strange correlation between people who watch SpongeBob and something terrible that happens?
No,
Okay, then how is it a phenomenon?
Okay.
Is it just an
let
episode?
me explain. Everyone has collectively agreed that the end credits for SpongeBob is terrifying. Now, this might sound weird at first,
Is that
okay?
why I don't remember it? Because maybe my brain just blocked it out.
Yeah, PTSD, SpongeBob credits.
I have PTSD, but I'm pretty sure it's not from that show.
Okay, so people have been saying that as they're listening to it and watching it, it makes them feel empty. Okay, it almost has like a liminal space sort of feel, like that feeling you get.
I
when
said,
you're
"Are y'all
in a
ready,
room
kids?
where you're in a familiar
What do they mean
place
about
that
that?"
doesn't seem right. And so I heard this phenomenon. I'm like, what? This doesn't make any sense. So of course I went onto YouTube and I looked up the SpongeBob end credits, and it's kind of just like bubbles floating around with the words going up, and it's kind of like a weird sort of elevator music, SpongeBob music. You know the music that's like dun, 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 dun,
Yeah, it sounds happy.
right, but like when there's happy music in strange places, you know how
You
horror
mean
movies.
on like your playlist with all of like your funeral music?
Yeah, my bony. You know horror movies now, how they're using fun, upbeat music for scary scenes.
Well, usually because those fun, upbeat songs, like with the lyrics, incredibly dark.
Right, but it's like kind of fun sounding music. I guess people are kind
It's
of
like my
attributing
favorite
that.
kind of music. The stuff that sounds really upbeat, but the lyrics are horribly dark.
Anyway, I went and I watched these credits, and it did make me feel strange. I wasn't scared. I wasn't terrified,
We're
but I.
just feeling strange because you're reliving like part of your life with watching SpongeBob again.
Maybe it's like a nostalgia thing. I don't know, because nostalgia can make you feel sad and weird, I guess.
Yeah.
But people are saying that they remember when they were a kid and the episode would end, they would quickly try and change the channel or turn off the TV before the credit scenes come up. And I don't think I ever did that when I was a kid. But
I mean, I never just liked watching credits in general because it was boring.
well, yeah, who does really?
Was that not the reason? Maybe because it's like, okay, we need to find the next bit of entertainment or something.
Or were we just sad that SpongeBob was over?
Maybe.
I don't know. But I would encourage you to go watch the end credit scenes and see if you feel that emptiness. Because I kind of did.
don't know. Like, I didn't remember what the imagery was on the end credits. I always thought it was like the strange, like, flower print. and
Yeah, I
stuff
think
like
it was
that.
flower print and like kind
Because I
of.
remember having like a bathing suit that had that flower print on it.
You had a SpongeBob bathing suit?
Well, I have SpongeBob underwear now because you got it for me.
You know what? We just said that no end credits are interesting, but there is that one Harry Potter movie of Marauders. Is that how you say it?
Marauders.
How do you say it?
Marauders.
Marauders map. Where you can
Marauders map.
where you can see all the footprints like going around, and there's that like one where they're in a closet. There's 4 footprints.
Set up in a very,
Inappropriate way.
inappropriate way.
Yeah.
But yes, that's just because the editors like to put something funny in there every now and
But
then.
I like that because we actually sit and we watch those credits,
Well, it's because it's at least visually interesting.
and I don't feel empty. I feel full because Harry Potter is amazing.
I was gonna say, so do the people in the closet.
Ew.
Nice.
Oh my gosh. You see what I mean? How this is so different from my YouTube channel.
It is. But also, this is what she deals with on a daily basis.
Okay, I found this disgusting fact out also on TikTok. See, I scroll through TikTok at night and I find out all of these really scary things.
See, I always like try and cuddle up next to you because I want to see some funny things. But then you always present to me like these incredibly dark or sad things. What do you do
Yeah,
on TikTok?
how many times do I walk over to you in our house and I'm crying because of a video I saw on TikTok?
Stop watching the sad stuff.
I just
Stop
found
it.
out. I just found out that Peter the Peacock was killed by a coyote, and he would entertain all of the old people at the old people's home. They would go out with their tea and their coffee.
This story, though incredibly specific, is also incredibly vague because you're not saying where it is, and it's just the old people.
I don't know
All of them
where,
collectively.
I don't
in
know.
The one old people house,
but it
as
was
you say,
it
not
was-
retirement home. The old people house.
it was so sad because all of these older women were being interviewed and they were holding Peter the Peacock's feathers because that was all that was left of him. And they were crying and they were like, we used to love to see him out in the gardens. And then that coyote came around and took.
It sounds like a plot to like a Looney Tunes sketch.
But you don't understand. Like, I was bawling. I came into the kitchen and
Was
I'm
the
like,
coyote doing this when, rubbing his hands,
listen,
plotting?
it's not
from the
funny.
bushes?
It's not funny. It is so sad.
I
was
know it's
crying.
sad. The stuff that I'm poking fun at is just this reaction happens on a nearly daily basis. Is you always come in feeling horribly sad about something that is very much unrelated to what we're doing. You'll be sitting there working or just reading and you're bawling and I'm like, did you read a sad book? It's like, no, the peacock.
Yeah, it's very sad. I'm very emotional. So this is a fact that I heard. Bugs like to go into our ears at night because it's moist and warm, and they usually crawl out before you wake.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was this doctor who, I think it was an ENT actually, who frequently takes bugs and small things out of ears,
Mhm.
more than you would think. He says bugs are in people's ears all the time.
Yeah, that's
But he was saying that, like, you in your lifetime have probably had hundreds of little bugs crawl into your ear and then come out again, while you're sleeping, because it's dark and warm and probably nice. A
You
nice
know
little
about
bed
all
for
the
the bugs
mites
to
that
sleep
are
in.
in your eyebrows?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
We
And
have
that
mites on
is-
our face.
Yeah, if people have a lot of them in their eyebrows, in a certain light, you can actually see them jumping off.
Ew. And also your eyelashes have little bugs.
Oh, yeah.
That's so gross.
We are absolutely covered in microorganisms.
Ew.
And our entire bodies are an ecosystem.
Yeah, I know.
And
So,
believe me, you need those creatures on you.
speaking of creatures, Taylor Momsen, who was, she's the
She's
little
a
girl.
creature?
No. Well, some people might say so. No, I love her. So Taylor Momsen was the little girl in The Grinch, right? Grown up. She was also a Gossip
She's a
Girl.
creature.
She is now like a metal rock singer.
Good on her.
And she's really cool. You know, the long, straight blonde hair, the crazy, like, black, skimpy outfits. I mean, that's her brand, right? So she was on stage doing her concert, and the audience started pointing at her and, like, yelling something, and she couldn't understand. And she was like, everyone's pointing at me, and I don't know why. And, like, so she's, like, walking around. Well, in the video that people were taking, you could see that a bat had latched onto her thigh, because she was wearing a tiny, tiny mini skirt. And this bat, this brown, fuzzy bat, was, like, sucked onto her thigh as she was performing.
Yeah,
And
that's
so-
terrifying.
She like finally looked down and she was like, oh my gosh, and she started freaking out, and the security and everyone had to come on stage to try and get the bat off. And then she kept performing, but people were like, get a rabies shot, like they were screaming that at her.
So what they should have done is, yes, get the bat off. You don't want a bat on you.
Yeah.
They have very small teeth. You're not going to feel it really if they bite you.
How did she not? That's what I don't get.
You don't feel it.
But I
They are
understand maybe the bite.
incredibly lightweight.
But its hand, like, it was wrapped
Yeah.
around her thigh.
Yeah.
It was disgusting.
Bats are very lightweight. I know this because I've handled them before. Always wear gloves. Got to be really careful. Very small teeth. You catch the bat and you send it off for testing.
Yeah.
Because
Keeps me cool, my game's up. I think it's like a rhythm.
Here's to the go-getters, whether they're in the gym or anywhere else. With 30 grams of protein and tons of delicious flavors, Premier Protein helps you go get life. Premier Protein, go get 'em.
Things change fast. Your needs do too. That's why Rent a Center offers rack exchange. Switch up sizes, colors, even products with
they're unfortunately carriers for a lot of very nasty diseases that they
Rabies.
themselves might not exhibit,
Right.
but they can be tested for.
Yeah.
I know my mom who listens to these podcasts. She's an advocate to get the animals tested because rabies shots are brutal, incredibly brutal, and if you can avoid having one, you might want to have that chance. But if the bat comes back positive, there's no avoiding it. Get it.
Well, people are saying that she shouldn't have even finished the show because, like, essentially, once you get a symptom of rabies, you're 99% going to die.
You got to get that stuff tested, quarantined, all
Right.
that stuff.
But I don't think she
It
realized.
takes a while for it to, and when I say a while, not like 30 minutes or
It
anything
depends
like
where you're
that.
bitten too.
It does.
If it's on your foot, it's gonna
It
take
does,
longer.
But usually they quarantine animals and stuff like that for like a 24-hour period just
Yeah.
to see if they start doing, like, showing any symptoms.
Yeah.
But yeah, you want to get that stuff tested immediately.
So, anyways,
That
her.
actually happened to one of my mom's friends recently.
Oh,
Actually,
yeah.
her son was just out working. A bat came and latched onto his
Uh-huh.
basically head and neck.
Yeah.
One of the worst spots to get bit, but they were able to catch it, sent it off for testing, and came back all clear. Get that stuff tested. I cannot be any more serious than I am right now. I know my tone doesn't change at all. This is my serious tone.
Yeah.
But yes, you want to be careful about that.
Well, she did go get a rabies shot because she posted on her Instagram story of her, and I think she was performing like overseas. Like, I don't know where she was, but she was in a hospital where they weren't speaking English, and she was getting this huge. It looked terrifying. The rabies shot.
Yeah, it's brutal.
I'm glad she did it though.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've heard it's brutal. But that just freaked me out when I saw that video because I can't even imagine what she was thinking when she saw that bat on her thigh. We're gonna move on to the stories in the woods. So this is from an account called Search and Rescue Woods on Reddit. This is the actual username of this person.
Okay.
Just to give them credit. So this is like a 9-part series, okay? I read all of this about a week ago and it took me about 2 hours. So obviously we're only gonna read part 1 and not even the entirety of part 1. I just took out sort of little segments of the creepiest parts. Now, is this a creepypasta? Probably. Are we sure? I don't know.
There
And I
could
think-
be a reality where this stuff existed. Jess.
Exactly.
It could be this one.
And that's the fun of it. So here we go. Put on your, I don't know what I was going to say. Put on your thinking caps, but you don't have to think about anything. You just have to listen.
I haven't had a thinking cap on for years.
Didn't
at
teachers
this
used to
point.
say that? Like, everybody sit down and put on your thinking caps like we were stupid before.
I've always been. The thinking cap never fixed anything.
Get comfortable. I'm going to put on my creepy voice, and we're going to go through some of these very creepy situations because this
Wait,
is
you
about a
wanna do
man who
downstairs?
worked as a search
You know,
and
I'll be-
rescue officer.
Oh, cool. Wait, how long are you in the video? It's on for 44 minutes.
Oh.
Anyways, guys. Yeah, I'm gonna end the video now, guys. I'm gonna clean downstairs, but bye, guys.
What is it like?
Oh yeah, I know. If y'all don't know, I'm gonna be watching this video after that. I'm gonna be watching this video, and then I'm gonna start making another video on the zombie rush. So, stay tuned for that chat and YouTube, which I'm not live streaming, but might as well say it, you know. Bye, guys.